Hi there, once again. Today I want to talk about egg salad. Well, only partially about egg salad, because a lot of it is kind of not very fun. Because I've watched many videos on how to make egg salad, and specifically the peeling of eggs, and I still haven't quite mastered it. But I did do better this time around. I've watched all kinds of YouTube videos of people being really skilled at peeling eggs, and including methods such as like blowing on the egg, which is really kind of bizarre. I'm not exactly opposed to blowing, but eggs, I don't usually blow eggs, so that's I didn't try that, but I did try other methods. But anyway, what I was thinking about though when I was making the egg salad has nothing to do with egg salad, but I started thinking about the spices because like I had to refill. There's a lot of spices that I use. I use my little jar of paprika here, my little jar of dill weed. I don't use the whole jar, of course. Don't mistake that. But what I was thinking about though is when I was doing the salt. Here's Morton, salt. I had to refill the salt shaker because I just cleaned it last night, and I was thinking how cheap salt is, and how it always hasn't been that cheap. But it's really cheap now. I go to the store. I think this thing was like 78 cents or some ridiculously low price. And I'm just thinking how lucky we are to have spices. That we just take for granted, and we can go to the shell. Marajam, who even knows where that is or where it grows or how it is, but you can go to the store and get it, and that's kind of interesting. And it just made me think of how we take those things for granted. When I was at the William Henry Harrison house, they had silver dishes to serve orange on. They would, getting an orange was a big deal, and then actually have a real lavish expensive dish to put the orange in and to eat it. And that's something we don't really think about now, but back in his time, fruit didn't travel well. You didn't just go down to the supermarket and get an orange, and so it was a big deal for people. And it made me think about how, like in Christmas, stockings, the traditional is having fruit at the bottom of your stocking, but now I can see more why that's a big deal. But the point here is, and I know I'm kind of rambling, but the point with spices and things like that we take for granted, a lot of it was made possible by things like innovation in transportation, roads and railroads, and things like that. And when you think about railroads, that's kind of an amazing phenomenon in itself, and we are lucky that's what's part of being in an industrialized world. Allows us these luxuries. And and I do appreciate things like that. And here I'm going to go off into my little political speak, but I think people misunderstand what I stand for when I harangue certain leaders of industry. Because I'm anti-capitalist to a point, but not really as much as what people would think, or for the reasons that people might think. But I think this is I can take away here from egg salad into a good argument for being on the left. Because when you think about how things were moved throughout time, like spices and fruit and vegetables or any other product, a lot of times we think of history, we think of the railroad tycoons. A lot of people made a whole lot of money off of the railroads. And it's great, and that really has helped us out as a society tremendously. But what has to be understood too is, though, a lot of people lost their lives too building the railroads. A lot of blood work went into building the railroads and other things, and and those are the unsung heroes. I think if anyone's watched Kung Fu, if that might be your only idea of history, knows about like railroad work from watching David Carradine and the treatment of the Chinamen back then. And of course that was kind of watered down, but still you get kind of the idea that working conditions probably for the people that actually were building the railroads weren't that all that good. And we have to bear that in mind when we go fast forward to unions and things like that, and workers' rights and things of that nature. Sure, give kudos to the people that came up with the idea of making the railroads. And this piece isn't to harangue the people that made money off the railroads, as many did. In history, there's full of tycoons called railroad tycoons and other folks. But what I do harangue is the people that make money but then seem to forget all that went into making their money, as if they just personally just said hoka poka and they got the money. Again, like with the railroad tycoons and many wealthy people that have made their riches kind of seem to realize this, like say Jimmy Buffett, Warren Buffett, excuse me there, Warren Buffett and other philanthropic people that have continually give back to the community that seem highly appreciative of it. But there's others, there are probably a lot of others actually, that somehow think it just comes out of whole cloth. And I am just using the railroad tycoon as just one example. You think about a railroad tycoon that makes all this money, but how many incredible number of people that had to actually work hours and hours a day for hardly anything to make it a reality. So I think we're terribly amiss if we don't acknowledge that contribution. It has to be a more of an acknowledgement than just trickle down, we did our part, we paid the minimum wage, we paid them this scab wages to do it. Because, I mean, come on now. There's kind of a disparity there, and there just seems to be an underappreciation of the blood, sweat, and tears of the people that built America. So I think that has to be kept in mind when we look at the election cycle and the people speaking and the leaders speaking, and we go off on tangents of, didn't he build it himself? He did it with his bare hands. He's anti-job. He's pro-job. What it really gets down to, are you pro-human? Do you work for the betterment of your fellow man? Do you want everybody to benefit from a society benefit from the fruits of everyone's labor? And I think the choices become more clear as you really think about these things, because we need to stop this mindset of the selfish leader that gets power, gets wealth, gets riches, and thinks that it just came to him out of nowhere. Because it really didn't. History has proved that it didn't. The graves of many a person that no one will ever know or remember or even celebrate is indicative of that. But anyway, so I hope that's been somewhat enjoyable, this video, and I hope to talk more later. Thank you. Bye.